Once upon a time, nestled at the foot of the misty, foggy mountains, lived a young man named Jack and his mother. Their life on a small, worn-out farm was a daily struggle. They weren't just poor, they were on the brink of having nothing. Their only lifeline was their beloved cow, Bess, whose milk they sold at the market. One bitterly cold morning, long before the sun had a chance to paint the sky, Jack's mother woke him. Her face was streaked with tears. "Jack, wake up," she urged, her voice trembling. "You have to take Bess to the market today and sell her." Jack, still half asleep, couldn't understand. "But why, Mother?" She let out a heavy sigh, her shoulders slumping with the weight of their troubles. "We have no money, Jack. The roof is leaking, the windows are shattered, and we don't even have a proper front door. Winter is coming fast, and if we don't fix our home, we'll freeze." A wave of sadness washed over Jack. He knew she was right. He packed a small bag, his heart heavy, and led Bess out of the old barn. As he walked away, his mother's voice called out, a desperate plea in her tone. "Remember, Jack, she's worth at least 5 gold coins. Don't you dare sell her for a penny less." Halfway to the market, a peculiar old man with a twinkle in his eye appeared on the road. "Good morning, young man," he chirped. "Where might you be going with such a fine-looking cow?" Jack explained his mission. "To the market, sir. I have to sell her for at least 5 gold coins." The old man's smile widened into a mysterious grin. "Ah, but what if I told you I have something far more valuable than mere gold? Look." He opened his palm to reveal 5 small, colorful beans. "These are magic beans. Plant them, and I promise you'll be richer than the richest man in the world." Jack hesitated. The man seemed strange, but the promise of riches. He pictured his mother's face, finally free from worry. "Deal!" he exclaimed, trading Bess for the tiny beans. He sprinted home, his heart pounding with excitement. But when he presented the beans to his mother, her hope turned to fury. "You foolish, foolish boy," she screamed, her voice cracking. "You traded our only cow for a handful of beans." In her rage, she snatched them from his hand and hurled them out the window into the garden. She collapsed by the fire, weeping uncontrollably. Ashamed and heartbroken, Jack retreated to his room. He couldn't sleep that night, the image of his mother's disappointed face haunting him. But when the first light of dawn streamed through his window, he saw something impossible. A colossal green beanstalk had sprouted from where his mother had thrown the beans, twisting and climbing all the way up into the clouds. "The beans, they really are magic," he whispered in awe. A new sense of determination filled him. He had to make things right. He had to climb that beanstalk. He climbed for what felt like hours, higher and higher, pushing past fluffy white clouds until he found himself in a land above the sky. In the distance, a giant castle loomed. With a mix of fear and curiosity, he approached the massive door and knocked. It creaked open, and a giantess, as tall as a house but with surprisingly kind eyes, looked down at him. "Please, ma'am," Jack said politely, his stomach rumbling. "I'm terribly hungry. Could you possibly spare a little food?" The giantess smiled warmly. "Of course, you poor dear. Come on in." She gave him a bowl of delicious warm vegetable stew, but he'd barely taken a few bites when the whole castle began to shake. Stomp, stomp, stomp. The sound was deafening. "Oh, dear me," the giantess whispered, her face pale. "My husband is home, and he can't stand humans. Hide quickly!" Jack scrambled into the pantry just as a gargantuan giant stomped into the room. "Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell the blood of a human man!" he roared, his voice like thunder. "Nonsense, my love," his wife said calmly. "You just smell the stew I've made." The giant grumbled but sat down. He then pulled out a bag and poured out 5 shiny gold coins, counting them loudly. From his hiding spot, Jack's eyes went wide. 5 gold coins. That's exactly what we need to fix our house, he thought. The moment the giants left the room, Jack darted out, grabbed the coins, and scrambled down the beanstalk as fast as he could. But the money didn't last forever. and soon hunger gnawed at them again. Jack, now a bit bolder, decided to climb the beanstalk a second time. This time, he watched in amazement as the giant commanded a small hen, "Lay, my beautiful hen." And right there, it laid a perfect, solid gold egg. When the coast was clear, Jack snatched the hen and made his escape. But greed is a funny thing. It's never quite satisfied. Jack convinced himself he needed one last trip. He climbed the stalk again and saw the giantess' most prized possession, a magical harp that played the most beautiful music all by itself. As the giant drifted to sleep, lulled by the music, Jack tiptoed over to steal it. But as he lifted it, the harp cried out, "Help me, master. A human is stealing me." The giant's eyes shot open. "Stop, thief!" he bellowed. Jack ran for his life, the giant hot on his heels. He slid down the beanstalk, clutching the harp and the hen, the giant's angry roars echoing from above. As soon as his feet hit the ground, he grabbed an axe. Whack, whack, whack. With a sickening crack, the beanstalk snapped. The giant fell with a tremendous thud, landing far, far away across the foggy mountains. Jack and his mother became incredibly rich, but Jack was never truly happy. He had wealth and fame, but whenever it rained, he imagined it was the giantess's tears falling from the clouds. Years passed, and Jack became an old man. One day, he found one last magic bean he'd forgotten in a pocket. He looked towards the mountains and said softly, "Maybe I can find her and say I'm sorry." He disappeared into the mist, the bean in his hand, and though no one ever saw Jack again, some folks say that when thunder rolls across the sky, it isn't a storm. It's the sound of two giants finally reunited, dancing together among the clouds. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales. We'll see you next time.